Hello everyone. My name is Puteri Silka Halyana and I'm from Management International 2019. So today I would like to do a presentation about sampling from chapter 13. So what is sampling? Sampling is a process used in statistical analysis in which a predetermined number of observations are taken from a larger population. The methodology used to sample from a larger population depends on the type of analysis being performed, but it may include a simple random sampling or a systematic sampling. Learning objectives. First, define sampling, sample, population, element, sampling unit, and subject. Second, discuss statistical terms in sampling. Third, describe and discuss the sampling process. Fourth, compare and contrast specific probability sampling designs. Next, compare and contrast specific non-probability sampling designs. Six, discuss precision and confidence and the trade-off between precision and confidence. Next, discuss how hypotheses can be tested with sample data. Next, discuss the factors to be taken into consideration for determining sample size and determine the sample size for any given research project. Ninth, discuss sampling in qualitative research. And the last is discuss the role of the manager in sampling. Population, element, sample, sampling unit, and subject. Population. The population refers to the entire group of people, events, or things of interest that the researcher wishes to investigate. Element. An element is a single member of the population. Sample. Sample is a subset of the population. It comprises some members selected from it. In other words, some but not all elements of the population form the sample. Sampling units. The sampling unit is the element or set of elements that is available for selection in some stage of the sampling process. Subject. A subject is a single member of the sample, just as an element is a single member of the population. Sample data and population values. When we sample, the sampling units like employees, consumers, and the like provide us with responses. When we examine the responses that we get for our entire sample, we make use of statistics. The reason we sample is that we are interested in the characteristics of the population we sample from. If we study the entire population and calculate the mean of or the standard deviation, then we don't refer to this as a statistic. Instead, we call it a parameter of the population. Normality of distributor. Attributes or characteristics of the population are generally normally distributed. For instance, when attributes such as height and weight are considered, most people will be clusters around the mean, leaving only a small number at the extremes who are either very tall or very short, very heavy or very light, and so on. When the properties of the population are not overrepresented or underrepresented in the sample, we have a representative sample. When a sample consists of elements in the population that have extremely high values on the variable we are studying, the sample mean X will be far higher than the population mean Q. If our sampling design and sample size are right, the sample mean X will be within close range of the true population mean. The sampling process. Sampling is the process of selecting a sufficient number of the right elements from the population so that a study of the sample and an understanding of its properties or characteristics make it possible for us to generalize such properties or characteristics to the population elements. The major steps in the sampling include: first, define the population; determine the sample frame, determine the sampling design, determine the appropriate sample size, and the last is execute the sampling process. Probability sampling. When elements in the population have a non-zero chance of being chosen as subjects in the sample, resort to a probability sampling design. Probability sampling can be either unrestricted, simple random sampling, or restricted, complex probability sampling in nature, unrestricted or simple random sampling. In the unrestricted probability sampling design, more commonly known as simple random sampling, every element in the population has a known and equal chance of being selected as a subject. Restricted or complex probability sampling. As an alternative to the simple random sampling design, several complex probability sampling, like restricted probability designs, can be used. And last is review of probability sampling designs. There are two basic probability sampling plans. First, the unrestricted or simple random sampling, and the restricted or complex probability sampling plans. Non-probability sampling. Confidence sampling. As its name implies, confidence sampling refers to the collection of information from members of the population who are confidently available to provide it. Next, purposive sampling. Instead of obtaining information from those who are most readily or conveniently available, it might sometimes become necessary to obtain information from specific target groups. And the last is a review of non-probability sampling designs. There are two main types of non-probability sampling design: confidence sampling and purposive sampling. Confidence sampling is the less reliable of all sampling designs in terms of generalizability, but sometimes it may be the only viable alternative when quick and timely information is needed, or for exploratory research purposes. Issues of precision and confidence in determining sample size. First is precision. Precision refers to how close our estimate is to the true population characteristics. Usually, we estimate the population parameter to fall within a range based on the same estimate. Precision is a function of the range of variability in the sampling distribution and the samplement. Confidence, whereas precision denotes how close we estimate the population parameter based on sample statistic, confidence denotes how certain we are that our estimates will really hold true for the population. Sample data, precision, and confidence in estimation. Precision and confidence are important issues in sampling because when we use sample data to draw inferences about the population, we hope to be fairly on target and have some idea of the extent of possible error. The sample size and type 2 errors. Too large a sample size, say over 500, could become a problem in as much as we would then be prone to committing type 2 errors. Statistical and practical significance. Another point to consider, even with the appropriate sample size, is whether statistical significance is more relevant than practical significance. Sampling as related to qualitative studies. Sampling for qualitative research is as important as sampling for quantitative research. Qualitative sampling begins with precisely defining the target population. One form of purposive sampling is theoretical sampling. And the last is managerial implication. Awareness of sampling designs and sample size helps managers to understand why a particular method of sampling is used by researchers. It also facilitates understanding of the cost implication of different designs. This enables managers to understand the risks they take in implementing changes. based on the results of the research study. I think enough, and that's all from my presentation. I hope this presentation is understandable. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.